Hello everyone, my name is Jason Jewell, and on behalf of John Paul Mitchell Systems and our distributor BSG, I would like to take the next few minutes to talk to you about the truth about curls. This is my mom, Felicia, and she has amazing curly hair. And let me tell you something about myself. I've been an industry stylist for now 16 years, and I love curly hair. In fact, my wife and my baby boy both have beautiful, voluptuous, curly hair. So the truth about curls hit me early on in my career years ago, but I want to share it with you because I just feel so passionately about it. And what's great about the truth about curls is it's all from Paul Mitchell Systems. So tonight what we're going to be doing is a demonstration of the Dominique haircut on my mom Felicia. I'm going to be discussing the tools that I use to create the look, from our carving comb to our 413 sculpting brush, to our diffuser that fits on our Express Ion Turbo Light dryer. Additionally, what I'm also going to be talking about, and this is also extraordinarily important, in fact, it's the whole reason why we're here, is the products that will help our curl friends be our girlfriends. So we've got spring-loaded frizz-fighting shampoo, which I just used to prep my model's hair. We have full circle leave-in treatment, ultimate wave, and last but not least, twirl around. Now, ultimate wave and twirl around are going to be our styling products, and our prep products are going to be our spring-loaded frizz-fighting shampoo and our full circle leave-in treatment. But first, before we get into the technique and the products and the tools, let me talk to you first about what motivates curly-haired clients to come and see you. Curly hair is really intimidating to a lot of people, and it's unfortunate because it's actually a very beautiful, voluptuous fabric of hair to work with. When you empower yourself with the knowledge of how to cut curly hair, you can do amazing things with this fabric. Additionally, this technique that I'm going to be showing you goes a step further than just scissor cutting curly hair. We're going to be razor cutting curly hair. And I know there are a lot of people who are absolutely scared to death of razor cutting curly hair. I love it. It proves an amazing technique for this particular fabric. And the reason why is that razor cutting produces very soft, very lived-in haircuts. So it not only cuts the length off, but it also adds some texture at the same exact time. So it produces a really soft line through the hair. And curly hair is an extraordinarily forgiving fabric if it's cut well. So I know that for myself, I would love to see a technique that's going to allow me to not only be dangerous behind the chair in making additional money on curly haired clients who would rather go to somebody else, but who would rather come to me. But additionally, I would love to empower you with the same knowledge so that you can take this away to your salon and enlighten not only your clients but also your fellow stylists in that curly hair is nothing to be afraid of. So let's dive right in. The first thing that we did was we prepped Felicia with the spring-loaded frizz-fighting shampoo. And what's fantastic about this from the Curls brand of Paul Mitchell is that the shampoo itself is sulfate-free, so it's completely color-safe. Additionally, it is a gentle cleanser, so it doesn't strip oils from the hair or from the scalp. It lifts product out, lifts dirt out, but without stripping it, without causing frizz. So it helps to tame the cuticle. And what it does is it delivers conditioning elements to the cuticle as you're shampooing. Now, what we haven't done yet, and what I'm about to do, is use our full circle leave-in treatment. And what's fantastic about full circle leave-in treatment is that it's a cream rinse. So it will basically, what it does is it causes the cuticle to close down so that as you're using it, you're smoothing the hair out with each pass through. So again, it's very thick, it's color safe, and it's an amazing prep product also as a stylist to stylist point for when you're actually doing the haircut, because it's almost like putting a cutting lotion into the hair. So you work it through roots to ends, with your hands. And this is a treatment that right after your guest gets out of the shower, after using spring-loaded frizz-fighting shampoo, she's going to use full circle leave-in treatment as her conditioner. And again, because it is a cream rinse, it is acidifying, it causes the cuticle layer to close down, and it causes it to smooth out as she's using it. So once we've gotten that fully immersed through the hair, then what I'm going to use is the Paul Mitchell 413 sculpting brush, just to make sure that I've gotten even penetration all the way through the hair. What's great about the 413 styling brush is that its slender shape is great for not only sculpting, but also for drying the hair, but also for getting through any tangles that you might experience. And I particularly like it on my shorter haired curly guests just because the teeth are wide open enough that you can get right through the hair, it penetrates through without snarling or snagging, and little beads at the end don't scratch the scalp. In fact, it kind of feels like a little scalp massage. So now that we've worked through our leave-in treatment, our full circle leave-in treatment, now we're ready to section for the haircut. So again, with the Dominique haircut, we wanted to really take advantage of the idea of take on a bob, more or less, but with curly hair just to really release some weight so that we get a lot of volume. So again, Felicia has more or less like a box bob, like a standard box bob on her haircut. So what we're going to do is we're going to be elevating the haircut so that we're going to be taking out this little triangle right through here and just, again, giving her a little bit of elevation. It's going to be really nice. So first things first, we're just going to section out. We're going to section from ear to ear on the back of the head. First things first, just so that I can create a roadmap for myself so it's easy enough to follow, I'm just going to do a standard center parting. Again, this is only so that I can find my guide of creating a part from ear to ear to the top of the head. So again, what we're going to be doing is separating the front from the back. So we're just going to be going to the top of the ear on both sides. And we're going to be sectioning that out. And again, just to the top of the ear and sectioning it out. So with the front sections, what we're going to be doing is combing these together, and we're going to be creating more or less an asymmetrical triangle at the front of the head. And what we're going to be doing with this asymmetrical triangle is we're going to be creating some beautiful side swept bangs. But that's not all that we're doing with this sectioning. I'm also getting this up and out of the way so that I can pull out little tendrils that we're going to leave that are going to be a little signature of a, kind of a customization of the haircut itself. So now that we've got that center section created, a little bit more. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to isolate out a few little sections that we're going to keep extra long, and then we're going to come back to it. So we just want to keep a little longer than everything else. Again, just for the nature of this particular haircut. It's going to be a little tricky to kind of keep these isolated. You just got to try to tame them over as best you can. but I just love the idea of there being little peekaboo tendrils of length going on in the haircut itself. In fact, I'm going to be putting this one right at the apex of that triangle, just because I really want the ability to kind of go one way or the other with it. So I'll show that to you in a second. But also in the back, I don't want this all to just be cut to one length. I do actually want to have a couple pieces back here that are isolated out just for fun, just to make it different, make it interesting. We're going to place them towards the top. And again, why the heck not? So we'll make this one a little bit bigger. Again, why not? And again, once you have done the cut, it's easy enough with these longer pieces that you can trim them to size. So if they're still feeling a little long or a little heavy, that they can be adjusted accordingly. The big challenge really is going to be keeping them clipped up and out of the way, so that as you are combing your hair for the cut, that you're not combing that away. So again, what we're going to be doing with the back section on Felicia's haircut for the Dominate is we're going to be elevating straight down, and we're going to be cutting more or less parallel to the floor. Once we have completed from nape to crown that cut, which is all going to be on the side of the head, or the back of the head, excuse me, then we move to the side panels, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be over-directing these back and cutting, again, parallel to the floor, but because of the over-direction back, what we're doing is we're creating a very soft triangular layer going forward. So the ultimate idea of this is that we are creating a bit of a stacked bob, a bit of a graduated bob, forward graduation, but nothing too extreme, because again, once we're releasing some of that weight with the curly hair, it's just going to explode upwards, and we're going to get a lot of beautiful volume. Additionally, once we have done the sides, both sides like that, then we're going to be going after the fringe in the front. And again, we're going to be sweeping it over to Felicia's right-hand side, so it's going to be shorter on the left corner and then longer in the right. And then once we have over-directed the left side panel back, then we're going to redirect the front of that panel forward, again, just to carve out some weight and create some space in the haircut. So again, it'll really show off the beautiful face and allow that curl to really come out to the party. So, if there is nothing else, let's begin. First things first, we are going to elevate the head downward, and I am going to borrow a clip because I need an extra clip. We didn't pack enough clips. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the cut. So I'm going to switch to my carving comb. Now the carving comb is really an interesting tool in that you not only have your comb, which acts much in the same way as a very sturdy barber's comb in that it tapers down to a bit of a tip so you can get into tight spaces, but also because the cutting head is a dual purpose cutting head. So The utility side is going to be your length removal, which is going to be your bread and butter of this particular tool. And then the wider side is going to be for texturizing. So when you really need to take out a lot of weight or just really want to create a lot of shred, a lot of hollowness in a haircut, this would be the way to go. So again, this tool is fantastic. So if you've not used it before, it does take a little bit of getting used to. But once you are used to using this tool, it is a fantastic breeze of a tool to utilize. So first things first, again, we're going to create our guide. I'm going to move so you can see a little bit better. Because Felicia has short hair, but she has a lot of it, I am going to be using somewhat smaller sections, just so that, again, I can maintain my guide so I can see where the heck it is I am, so I don't get lost on the way. So again, with Felicia, we're going to be taking the guide, we're going to be taking it right to the base of her skull. So we're going to be taking out about 1.5 inches out of the base. And then again, with all the forced over direction downward, what that's going to accomplish for us is it's going to allow the hair to pop back up once it's cut. Again, so we're creating graduation by forced placement in the haircut. So again, using my utility side of the blade, carve, and don't let go until you cut through all the way. And again, the carbon comb creates that lovely, soft, lived-in edge. It's beautiful. So again, directing everything back down to my previous, and cutting in. Just repeat on the left-hand side. And don't let go until you cut away, cut through. And now we're already kind of releasing some of that weight. And try to just work in nice, clean, even sections as much as possible. Do remember your plant head tilts down and that the shirt goes up and down. Going in, finding our guide. So again, you can already see how this is already really starting to pop up the volume in Felicia's hair. And because she just has so much hair, we just have to kind of constantly move from one side to the other so we make sure that we are working as cleanly as possible. So now that we're getting into the midsection of the hair, obviously the head shape is getting wider. So again, when we're pulling down, we are actually starting to really starting to over direct in earnest, even from our stationary back down, so that we're ending up with a little release in the center, or from the center, excuse me. So now we're reaching the top of our section. So we're done with this about 2 more sections. Again, just depending on how thick your client's hair is, you may need to work in smaller sections just to make sure that you are getting the results that you need. Again, you're going to start to slightly elevate. And again, what that's doing is creating some graduation as well. Nothing too much. And so again, just going back to what I said earlier, I have been in love with curly hair for as long as I've been in love with my wife, which is about 10 years now. And I've had all that time to practice to get really, really proficient with cutting curly hair. And again, I really do mean it when I say that I love the fabric of curly hair. It really is something special. And a good deal of our friends, our personal friends, are actually people who have made clients because they all have curly hair. I really don't have very many straight hair friends, actually, now that I think about it. You know, that says about me, but curly hair is fun. Maybe it's I'm attracted to what I don't have myself. So we're also starting to run out of hair cut in certain areas. But again, that's okay. It isn't just about what you take, it's also about what you leave behind. So again, this is the area where we've got that cutaway. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work little by little. I'm just going to kind of dance around that. So since it lives mostly on that right-hand side, I'm going to go after the left so that I can place it safely over onto the left so that it's up and out of my way. So again, just trying to be as careful as possible. Just really taking out a good bit of weight in that length. So now we can just release that back down if I wanted to, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to keep it clipped up in a way just so I have a safe feed, so I'm going to inadvertently cutting that away. So now, that's actually the long part of the haircut, so now everything moves really quickly. So what we're going to do is, again, we're going to be directing the hair back to our guide. And again, we're just going to be cutting this away. So that again, once we do that, it's going to cause everything to kind of pop forward. So let me move to the side so you can see. And so you can really feel that full circle leave-in treatment really helping guide and glide the razor. Very, very important is with razor cutting, you always need to maintain proper moisture in the hair. If you don't, well, the best way I can describe what happens if you don't is if you've ever made ribbons at Christmas time for Christmas presents, that's exactly what hair does with a dry razor, or dry hair against a razor. You're just ribboning the hair, and you're just causing all sorts of mayhem. So again, just going to go through, we take out a little bit of weight, just because again, Felicia has an enormous amount of hair, and I really want to show off some variability in the haircut itself without causing too much shred. Okay, so now we're moving to the left-hand side of the head. So if you remember, we had a couple of pieces that were pulled out to be little tendrils. So again, just working really carefully to try to keep those from getting cut away. Brush back as much as possible. Go to that guide. Again, right here you can really feel that for the circle leave-in treatment, just really helping guide and glide the razor. So again, just going to go through with the texturizing side of the razor and just take out a little bit of the weight at the end. We're not going into the interior of the haircut doing this. We're just staying at the last 1/3, 1/4 to 1/3 of the length. Because again, I don't want to create a lot of shred. I just want to create some openness and some movement in addition to what we have already done. So again, I'm going to just pin these back up and out of the way. And so now, what we're going to do is we're going to work on the fringe of the haircut. And so with this, what's really fun about this is, again, you're creating a sweep from whatever their dominant side is, wherever they part to from, and then whatever their parting to is. So in this case with Felicia, she parts her hair traveling to her right. So we're going to be working all the way across. And again, because she has a lot of density, you could, on something with lesser density, take this all in one go. However, for safety's sake, and just for control, I'm going to take this in 2 sections, just again so I can see what I'm doing and maintain control of it at all times. And one neat thing is, about this particular type of bang is, and using the carving comb, and something that Robert Cromeans pointed out, which I think is brilliant, which is you're using this not as so much a cutting thing as you're using it as your finger, like you're just going from here to there. So again, grabbing up all the hair, and just directing it straight down. We're just going to be going in from the corner across. just going to go back through, touch up the ends, just because I can feel a little loss of tension there. Nose cutting through. And again, bringing the hair back down. Just again, cutting from here to there. And so now we have some really pretty fringe set up that's really going to open up her face. I think it's really pretty. So the last thing that we're doing in the haircut before we style is we are going to, again, carve out the dominant side where the parting is from. Again, just to open up the face a little bit more. And so, again, we're going to be going from the apex of this little triangle downward. So again, the cutting motion is going to be down. So really, you're not going to see a lot getting cut away, just mainly that. Again, just to open the face up just a little bit more. And I think it's a really pretty technique. It doesn't cost a lot in the way of length in the haircut. So there you have it. That is the completed cut. So what we're going to be doing now is releasing all of those longer bits and just again kind of reassessing how they fit into the haircut. And so actually, I'm kind of digging the length that they are, because again, I think that they just add a little point of difference and they counterbalance the internal shortness. So what we're going to do next is we're going to style the hair. This is the fun part. I mean, not that the cut wasn't the fun part, but this is where your client really sees what they're going to be getting out of their new do, and also to find out what the product's going to do for them. So first thing we're going to be using to style Felicia's hair is Ultimate Wave. Now this is a cream gel that's going to give you beachy texture. So again, living in Southern California, we all love the beach. You know, we love what it does for our climate. We don't always have time to go to the beach to get salt water in our hair to, you know, get that dew on. So what this does is it's bleach in a bottle. So again, it's going to provide a nice bit of hold for the hair, and it's going to allow us to get that perfectly imperfect curl in the hair. And I just love this stuff. And again, just work it through roots to ends. And then the second product that we're going to be using, because again, the whole idea behind getting our guests involved in a new product is to get them hooked on multiple products, not just one. You know, retail is a huge part of our bread and butter, and as a stylist, I really pride myself on the fact that I can retail like nobody's business. What Twirl Around is a two products in one. So you've got a clear crunch-free fixative, and then you've got a frizz-fighting conditioning balm. So when you pump this, they combine together into this really luscious cream. And again, this is going to get the ringlets to form up really beautifully. Work it through damp hair, and then once we have it worked in, you can actually comb it through and then wiggle the hair back out. I'm going to show you what I mean by that in just a second. This is something that I really like to do on my curly haired guests when I am styling them, is I'm not satisfied with just where I place my hands, that I've gotten the product exactly everywhere that it should be, that I want it to be. So what again I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using my 413 sculpting brush, and I'm going to comb it through my guest's hair, all the way through. And then I'm going to wiggle it back out. Now what I mean by wiggling it back out, very, very simple. Basically, once you have it combed through, you partially straighten the hair. You don't want to stay like that. You want to wiggle it back out. And what this wiggling is going to do is going to help to keep it from frizzing out and fluffing out. One of the great things about the Curls brand from Paul Mitchell is, and one of the things that it's done for me personally, is it's really increased my business in curly-haired clients. It's really built my reputation that I understand curly-haired guests and their needs and what their hair really demands. And I think it's of paramount importance that everyone kind of take this away, that that's exactly what they need to be doing. So now that we've gotten the product in the hair, combed through, and then wiggled out, then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using our Express Ion Turbo Light Dryer and our Paul Mitchell the Diffuser. Both of these come equipped with Express Ion technology, and I'm going to talk about that for a little minute. What Express Ion technology is, or the Express Ion complex, is it's a blend of volcanic minerals that deliver negative ions and far infrared heat. Now what the negative ions will do is they penetrate into the hair and they break up water molecules so that you hydrate the hair from the inside out. What the far infrared heat does is it penetrates into the cortex of the hair and dries the hair from the inside out. What these two things do in combination is that they produce hydrated curls that don't frizz out and they produce a lot of shine. And it's a very, very beautiful thing. So again, what we're going to be doing is taking our diffuser, and with our Turbo Light Dryer, our Express Ion Turbo Light Dryer, one of the things I love about this is it pushes a lot of air. It's also designed for coarser hair types. So why it's designed for coarser hair types, in addition to the Express Ion complex, which is in the nozzle of this device, it also has conditioning nanopearls in the barrel of the blow dryer itself. And so these are tourmaline crystals that help to, again, give an extra dose of conditioning and negative ions to the hair, so it really helps to close down the cuticle. And what's very, very important with curly-haired guests is that you help to close down the cuticle as much as possible, because again, it's going to get that nice tight curl formation, so that it's going to really help to fight the frizz. What's also great about this dryer is that it has 3 heat and 2 speed settings, and it moves air like nobody's business. It is a very powerful dryer. It's very lightweight for its power, and it's also relatively quiet for its power, which I really love. It has a removable air filter, so you can get the dust out of there every now and again. Additionally, what I really love about this is it will fit your diffuser, and it also has a directional nozzle. So the directional nozzle has the Express Ion complex embedded in the actual material of the nozzle, so it's constantly delivering a stream of far infrared heat and negative ions. With the Paul Mitchell diffuser, the Express Ion complex is embedded in the core of the device itself, so that as soon as heat is applied to this device, it is emanating far infrared heat and negative ions. So one of the other great things about this diffuser is that it's got the ventilating fingers, which help to lift and to dry the hair very, very evenly and very successfully, so that you don't blow the hair out and blow it away. So it's really, really important that all your guests know that the diffuser choices that you're using are very important. The tools that you're using are also very important, because they're going to get you the results that you need. So, high heat, low volume. And don't be afraid to have your guests lean their head backwards. So again, these fingers are going to help to lift the hair and to help dry it. And you can see how quiet this device is. It's not very loud at all. And you can already see how this is really getting some lift and some volume out of it. Again, don't be afraid to move your client's head where you need to be. As you can see, it's drying the hair, but it's not blowing the hair apart. This is also really, really important. We have those little tendrils kind of coming out of play. It's also really important, and I'm guilty of this as anybody else, to not touch the hair too much while you're drying it. Well, basically you want to use the fingers on the diffuser itself to lift the hair up and place it where you need to be. So you can see how already it's just forming up really beautiful onto the hair. So now that we've gotten it mostly dry, we're going to pick it up a notch and bring up the volume. There goes my diffuser. So again, I think that the volume that we're getting out of the cut, as well as the products, from the full circle leave-in treatment to the spring-loaded frizz-fighting shampoo to ultimate wave gel, cream gel to the twirl around, I think all four of those products combined together will do an amazing thing for any of your curly hair guests in your chair, as well as any curl friends, girlfriends, or whatnot. So to recap, again, I want to really challenge each and every one of you to take the Dominique technique home with you to feel good about razor cutting the hair in curly hair clients, because again, it's really, really important that with razor cutting curly hair clients that you feel absolutely at home and comfortable, that it'll produce beautiful, beautiful results. Again, we used 4 great products from the Paul Mitchell Curls brand. So we used the spring-loaded frizz-fighting shampoo. We used the full circle leave-in treatment. We styled with Ultimate Wave, in addition to twirl around. What we used to create the look was from start to finish our 413 sculpting brush to, again, comb the hair through after shampoo, as well as to get the full circle leave-in treatment through the hair, as well as to deliver the Ultimate Wave and twirl around thoroughly through the hair for styling. We used our carving comb to create the look in the first place. And again, with razor cutting curly hair, it just really lifts and diffuses out that curl in a beautiful way. And then we use our Express Ion Turbolight dryer and our polymer to the diffuser to create this finished look that you see here today. So again, I really want to challenge you to take these tools and these products as well as this technique home with you to your salon and really expand your repertoire of your curly hair guests. So on behalf of John Polymer Systems and BSG, my name is Jason Jewell, and I want to thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye.